Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to the video, and first off, for everyone that's checked out the early review for the SDCC exclusives this year, thank you so much. And if you haven't checked them out already, go check out the Dragonball playlist, and there's also one for Godzilla 89 and the Naruto Top 99 Kakashi as well. But today, we're here with the just released in Japan Super Saiyan Son Goku's Effect Parts Set. Teleport Kamehameha. I guess this would be the third set that we've had from Dragonball. First one being the eating set, then we had the effect set last year. If you haven't seen, or if you haven't had a hands-on experience with that, or if you haven't seen any reviews, I do have one for that. I wasn't the biggest fan, so I was a little bit hesitant with this release. However, I think definitely so far this is probably one of my favourite ones. But eating set's probably still my top favourite so far, just due to the fun factor in it. But I'm glad that they've taken a different direction with the auras, so we'll get a closer look at that in a moment with this figure, as well as what it does come with. So yeah, I'm really keen to hear everyone's thoughts at the end of the video, so make sure you leave a comment below what you think about this set, the previous one as well, and the eating set, and what else would you like to see going forward for these type of effect, or I guess upgrade sets that they have been slowly releasing. So yeah, anyway, for now let's pop it out of the box so we can actually see what it does come with. Now, I'm always a big fan of items that come with multiple layers of packaging, just because it means it's packed full of goodies. And yeah, we definitely get quite a bit with this set. Now, on the top layer we have the main aura itself. We have the shouting with the kind of windswept here for the full power Goku. So I do have him off to the side, so we will do the head swap and do some posing with the figure in this set later. Now, if you haven't actually picked up a full power Goku, they have done a re-release as well along with this. I was just in Yodobashi earlier today, and they had plenty of stock there as well, so hopefully it should be the same for those in America and other countries. Maybe keep an eye out for your local Walmart or Target. But coming back to the set itself, we have the massive ki blast here, the Kamehameha. However, it does have the hands molded to it at the bottom. So we'll probably cover that throughout the video. But so far it's looking really epic. Then coming to the next layer, here we have the additional base, so it's kind of split off with a gap to kind of give you that standing look, which is pretty cool. And then we also get a curved attachment to attach to the other ki blast, so you can do kind of the firing or flying type of a aura pose, which is really cool. And then behind this we have another part of the aura which attaches on, a little bit small part for the Kamehameha, so you can actually interchange parts, which is cool. Massive base on the bottom with a rock texture. We also get some rocks which can plug the holes in that base, where we aren't attaching the massive stand arm. So definitely a huge chunky stand there, which is great to hold the weight. And then we've got another little base and clip as well for the ki blast. So yeah, overall pretty cool. So what we can do now, let's pop it out and chuck it on the turntable so we can check out the detailing and sculpting on the aura itself. Okay, so we have the aura set up here now on the turntable. We have the base aura on top along with those extension legs below, which looks really cool, especially with Goku here standing in a leg spread pose here. He's about to teleport off, which is really cool. We have the base on the bottom, which is actually really big. Really surprised there. And I've also placed in the rocks as well. And there's two holes there for the other big stand arm. You know, if you don't want to use the stand, they will be kind of visible, which it would have been cool, maybe get another two more of these so you can fully cover them in if you want. We also have the awesome Kamehameha effect here, which has awesome sculpting in it, decent detailing with the white on the top there, some down the main shaft of the ki blast. What would you even call that? But anyway, it gives it some nice detailing, and same with where the hands are gripping on too. Now these parts will pop off, which is great, so you can switch out the parts when you want, which is really nice and handy. So yeah, let me pop this back on and check it down. So coming back to the aura itself though, since this is made up of multiple parts, we actually get some nice shadows on here as well. along with all the sculpting in there. So it does give it a little bit more texture and detailing compared to your normal Ki Blast effect, which is really great. Now one thing which is cool, as I mentioned earlier, if I take this, so we get the additional part here, so we can switch over parts to use it in different ways. So a lot of people were already really creative using the blast kind of in this way already, but we didn't have a nice curve on the front here to kind of finish off the look. So it's really nice that we get this. This is probably my favorite part of this effect set, to be honest. Definitely really cool. I can't wait to see what people do with this. Now we also had one additional part here. Now we can actually switch these parts out. So this will pop off. This part should pop off as well. Okay, so I managed to pop this part off. So it pops off, allowing you to slot the stand through the Aura Blast itself. So then it's sticking through. Then you can take the clip, slot it on over there, and then you can attach Goku as well. Now this will give you the in-air pose, which is really cool. Let me adjust this a little bit so we can get a better look though. So if you aren't familiar with the stand setup, this is actually quite common with a lot of the other Tamashii lines, like the robot Tamashii and so forth. But if you want to move it, it is on a kind of a gear system here, so you can actually push this part through, and then that will allow you to actually move the stand up and down into the position that you want. Once you have it where you want it, you can push it back through, and then that will lock the gear in place, keeping it nice and solid, which is really cool. And well, with that we have a really simple, easy to pull off Goku mid-air pose. And on the bottom here we can actually take the other half of the Aura Blast, slot it in, yep, there we go. And you have the full-on Aura look, which I think this is absolutely badass. And the great thing is, since it's just a clip, you can use this with any figure you want. So any Super Saiyan Goku figure, this will work with, which I think is really cool. So I've got Goku here in a simple Kamehameha pose, actually left over from the live stream I did with 86 reviews, I think last month or the month before. I recommend checking out the videos, a lot of fun. But anyway, coming back to this video, so you can obviously set Goku up in a basic pose like this with the aura and it looks cool. However, to make full use of the set, we can switch over head with the additional one that comes with him, and then we can attach the Kamehameha blast as well. So let me do that now. I'll switch it over and we can check him out in his full blast pose. Boom, there we go. Check him out, doing a full-on blast. And yeah, I was surprised actually. I was worried it may be a little bit hard to actually connect it up, but surprisingly pretty straightforward and simple. And I think this kind of actually helps with getting that right Kamehameha pose. So you can even, pop them off the effect itself, switch on the normal hands, and then you'll have yourself a really cool pose without the effect as well. So I think this is actually quite a good way of learning how to pose, since it really does force you to get it just right so everything is working with the feet both flat on the ground as well as the stand. Now the hair itself is sweeping off, blowing back with that force of the energy as he's going to go in there and kick Cell's ass. So yeah, overall I think this is looking really cool, works really well. But yeah, we can do a couple of other poses, but before we do that, another thing that's cool, we do get this additional party, so we can switch out the pose a little bit. But before we do that, let's take a closer look at the detailing on this faceplate. Now check out all that detailing on the face, all the lines. I love how it is actually coloured, so it really brings attention to all the lines on his forehead as well as the nose. Sculpting on the tongue is looking really good, and then the printing for the eyes is crisp and clean as well. The hair is actually very angular and blocky. I'm not really sure if that's a pro or a con. I tried to find the scene that would be based on. It's kind of hard to get the right clip, but if you do have one in mind, definitely share it below. And I'm curious what everyone else thinks, if this is too angular or not. Yeah, face I'm definitely digging. The hair I'm a little bit on the fence, so I'm really curious to see what everyone else thinks as well. Okay, so I switched out the other part for the Ki Blast. Super simple, as I mentioned earlier, just pops off and you can attach on the starting part here, which is cool. So obviously you'll need the hands with the original figure, but since we already have that pose sorted from using this one, really easy to do. Just pop the hands off the effect, put on the original hands, and then you've got yourself another really cool looking pose with a fit. Takes a little bit less space, which could be quite good for long-term display purposes, but still looking badass nonetheless. So if you're wondering if you can use this effect with other Goku figures, well yeah you can. Probably any Goku figure should work even if the pegs don't align. This is the event exclusive Super Saiyan God Goku. The pegs are slightly different compared to now this is the Super Saiyan God exclusive Goku. The pegs are slightly different to that of the full power Goku. However, you can rest them in there to make it work as well. Probably not the best pairing for the Gold Goku here perhaps, but if you do have another Goku figure that you want to use this Ki Blast with, I don't think it should be too much of an issue. Now, full power Goku, he's cool enough as it is, I guess, but I don't get why they made it for him when they could have made it for the legendary Super Saiyan Goku figure here, who fits this effect without any issues. The pegs fit in, he looks absolutely badass there. I mean, he already pulls off the Kamehameha look really well, but pairing it with that blast effect, oh man, this is looking so good. Like, yeah, this is absolutely badass. But not only that, since the other stand is generic, we can also attach it to that effect stand as well. So let's do that and take a close look at what he looks like paired with the aura. Come on, check that out, how cool. I mean, the stand, yeah, it's a little bit, it doesn't quite go all the way around, but it does hold on to Goku without issues. You can obviously move it around how you want, lean this back further, over more straight, which looks absolutely badass. I think this is going to be a lot of fun for photos, especially since you can change and play around with it in so many different ways and mix and match with figures. Like personally, I feel like why make this for full power Goku when you could have made it for the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, who's absolutely amazing in comparison, a huge upgrade. But you know, at least it is, you know, workable with multiple figures. Probably not just Goku, even not just the Dragonball line, to be honest. I'm sure a lot of creative people out there will use this with some other figures to great effect. So moving over to the pros and cons, I think the pro is obviously the aura, the way that we can use it in multiple ways. We have the base here with the split energy for around the legs, which is cool. The cap on the top here, so we can have it in the flying pose. I think that is probably my favorite part for this. We can interchange the parts as well, so the stand will go all the way through the effect and clip onto the figure. That's a really simple way of making it super effective, and it looks so much better. That was always a difficult part with other auras, was, you know, if you had to have a stand with the figure, it got a little bit fiddly. So I think this solves one big issue that I have at least had in the past. The base is pretty cool, the rocks are nice. I think it would have been cool to get 2 more rocks to plug the other holes for the times where we don't want to use the full stand on there. Now the Kamehameha effect is really cool as well. I love the white on here, how you can change it out to the different parts, so you have some options there. The hands being molded on is a pro in the sense that it makes you get the Kamehameha pose looking really good. It's less fiddly since it is fully attached, so a bit more sturdy, really cool. Obviously a huge con, since you have to use it with a figure that can use these hands. You can't mix and match with other lines. You know, other figures may kind of struggle, or these may look a bit too big on maybe Kid Goku, for example, or maybe even Gohan, right? But at least if you have like a Goku figure, even if the peg doesn't fully match up like what we had with the Super Saiyan God Goku, you can still align it basically where you need to make it look good. And it also works with the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, which I think, to be honest, this effect set should have been made for that figure instead. Now we also get the head. That's the wrong head. Here we go. The head is actually still on the other full power Goku body. I'm not sold on the hair. I don't think it looks good personally. The face I think looks really good though, but I kind of wish the windsuit hair looked nicer. But again, let me know if you find the scene in the series that this is referencing. Maybe it does look like that. I know it's obviously a bit more angular sometimes in the anime, especially in the Android or Cell Saga. So, you know, probably is more anime or screen accurate, but I don't know. At least in person, I don't think it looks that great. So that is definitely a huge con for me. Price point, it's okay overall for the set. I don't even remember how much it was actually. I'll check the price on the screen. Not cheap, not super expensive, but things are definitely increasing in price here in Japan now. So that is definitely a bit of a shame, especially going forward. So be curious to see what they pull off with other FX sets in the future. Now what I'd love to see is some really good head sculpts, you know, proper windswept hair for Super Saiyan, whether it be for the legendary one or any other Goku figure as well. I want to see a bit more vibrancy there, more fluidity in the hair, personally at least. But yeah, please let me know in the comments below what you think about this FX set. I think overall, huge improvement over the last one. I really did not like that, though some people are crazy talented and they were able to use it to great effect, which gave me awesome inspiration as well. So I'm really keen to see what people do with this one here. But I think for general people, this one's a lot more user friendly, easier to use, and basically straight out of the box, a lot of fun. So yeah, overall pretty satisfying. So yeah, anyway, again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers!